I was born right here in Framingham on March 2nd, 1815. About 6 weeks after Andy Jackson beat the British down in New Orleans to end the War of 1812. Boy, the changes I've seen in this town. I was born in my parents' house on the Boston-Worcester Turnpike, which you call Route 9. It was a new road then. House isn't there anymore, but I can tell you exactly where it was. They tell me there's something called China Gourmet there, which I guess is some sort of Chinese establishment? I don't know. Anyway, it was a great place for a boy to grow up. Plenty of woods to explore and trees to climb, and the stagecoach route went right by our front door. I expect you don't see too many stagecoaches anymore. I remember when I was a teenager, when the first railroad train came to town. Oh, the noise and the smoke and the soot. Of course, I also remember a little while after that, when Old Man Hurd got run over by a train down by the depot. That's one thing that hasn't changed. Old folks are never good with technology. I went to school at the Framingham Academy on the Center Common. I founded the athletic club there, which mostly involved hanging a swing from the tree out back and collecting dues from my schoolmates. There were kids from all over, but mostly local boys. Charles Train, who later became a congressman, was close to my age and a good friend. George Gordon, later a Civil War general, was about 10 years younger than me, but his mother ran the academy boarding house next door to the schools, so he was always around. He's the last guy you would have expected to go to West Point, let me tell you. He wasn't very robust or interested in athletics, very timid. Bit of a mama's boy, really. But I guess that just goes to show you never can tell. I went to church meeting on the Common too, of course, at the First Parish Church. When I was 15 years old, a terrible thing happened. Reverend Kellogg retired, and the town voted to have a Unitarian replace him. What had we done to deserve this calamity? Those of us who left to build Plymouth Congregational Church across the road kept the faith. And as for the Unitarians, well, I guess they kept the building. As if that weren't bad enough, 5 years later, the Catholics held their first Mass, up among the Irish factory workers in Saxonville. Talk about out of the frying pan and into the fire. I hear you can go south of the railroad depot nowadays and not hear a word of English. Nothing but Italian. But I'll tell you something. Remember my boyhood friend Charles Train, the one who became a congressman? Well, the person he beat to become a congressman was none other than me. When our old Whig party split up, he thought the biggest threat to liberty was slavery, and so he became a Republican. I thought the biggest threat to liberty was immigration, so I joined the American Party, what some unkind souls called the Know-Nothings. In the end, that Republican beat this Know-Nothing by about 5-1. Don't tell him I said this, but it's been 150 years now, and I'm beginning to think that maybe he was right.